Okay. Oh, cool. Hi, Miriam. Are you here, Miriam?
There she is.
There she is. Can you hear us, Miriam? The Reverend Miriam Joan Handy. Paging Reverend Miriam Joan Handy.
What's up, Jeff? I would suggest the chair closer to Lori. This one's like
cool, Julia.
Your height. You're about almost as tall as me. So
That's better. Yeah, it's not in the middle of your forehead.
What happened in the coma again?
Wow, now it's sideways.
You got out of the car.
That's awesome. Hi, Julia.
Yeah.
Miriam, can you hear us?
I can, yes. I just getting in my car from a church meeting, so I'm in my car.
So is Nakoma, so we're good.
Car meeting. Almost sideways.
Julia, how are you doing? I don't know if she can hear us. She seems to have audio problems sometimes. Are you there, Julia? Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, when Nakoma's ready.
Nakoma, you're sideways.
You're sideways and upside down. Well, no, you're just sideways, actually. I'm so glad we're very informal around here.
Wow.
Okay.
Somebody made a joke that very joke.
Let me see if I turn my
There
phone.
you are, Julia. So,
Oh, there we are. That's better.
okay. Julia, here comes Don. See if I see your name there, Don, but I don't see any video.
There we go.
Okay. That's
Hi.
much better, Miriam.
Hi, Julia.
Hey.
Yay.
There we go.
Hear us?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay. I don't know if anybody else is going to pop in, but we can get
Oh,
going.
there's
Oh, there. Wait a minute.
Wait, whoa, flipping over. Oh,
I'm
chandelier. There's a chandelier.
Yeah, I see a chandelier. There's Don. We're looking up Don's nose. Camera moved on. There he is. Yay!
He's not smiling.
You have audio, Don? Can you hear us?
be all set up yet.
I think he's still trying to get himself on. Let me see if he's muted. No, he's not muted. We should be able to hear him.
He's not talking.
Are you with us, Don?
Well,
I can see you, but I can't hear you.
I'll text him. I'll let him know we can't hear him.
All right. Okay, I see a phone number. Who's calling in now?
The president said that the administration is going to have a big win soon on healthcare, and that you have been working it, even though you're thousands of miles away, to
Who's thousands of miles away?
reform Obamacare repeal over the finish line. How's it going?
President Trump made it clear.
Hey, Don, all we see is your paperwork on the desk.
There we go.
There you
All
are.
right, we can hear you now.
Hi, Don.
Okay, can everybody hear us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
We can, yeah, actually.
You can hear me now.
Yes, we can. Okay, we're doing quite well. All right, we can get going here. Let me get my shoes off, and I'll be ready to rock. So thanks for showing up, you guys. I know I apologize for the short notice. We've been really working our butts off around here, getting ready for the self-mastery this weekend. We're in the conference hall right now, and we figured it was, since we put so much work into this particular area today, we figured it might be a lot of fun to do it from here. Plus, we have a good internet connection here, which is hardwired because nothing works up here because of the vortex. So before we get going, I just want to tell you a couple little experiences that we've had. Last night, Jeff and I were out doing a sky watch, and we were facing Mount Adams, and Walter, another guy that's with us here, was out in the Pleiadian circle, and he was looking back towards the house, and he came very excited, saying, "I just saw a ship that looked like it landed on the other side of the tree line." So we all went out there to see if we could see it, and we were standing there for what, 10, 15 minutes maybe, and all of a sudden we see two red lights and a white light go across the mountain, completely silent. And all of a sudden it went behind one tree and did not come out the other side. And it looked like it landed. And it was, I mean, that was pretty impressive. That thing was low, it was big, and it was incredibly bright. And then it just disappeared on us.
It was absolutely silent.
So absolutely silent. It was really, really fun. But let me introduce who's here. Obviously, you guys know Lori. This is Jeff over here, and this is Jim. We have a couple chickens in the background who might pop in, but they're more than happy to either hide in the background or jump in at any time they want to. And this is Walter right here. Get in here. This is Walter.
Howdy. I'm the cook. I gotta go cook dinner.
He's got to go cook.
Starving.
See y'all later. Have a good one.
Okay, so why don't we start with our normal clearing, and then we can get going here. If everybody wants to take a couple breaths. We now center our awareness. We now quiet our ego minds. We quiet our intellect. We now call back to us any part of us that we have given away, either willingly, inadvertently, or have had taken from us. We call back to us now that we may be fully restored, fully harmonized, and fully empowered. We call back to us now any part of us that we have given away, either willingly, inadvertently, or have had taken from us. We call back to us now that we may be fully restored, fully harmonized, and fully empowered. We call back to us now any part of us that we have given away, either willingly, inadvertently, or have had taken from us. We call back to us now that we may be fully restored, fully harmonized, and fully empowered. We will now heal and remove all negative influences. We welcome all entities in love and light. We speak to you now from the Lord God of our being, telling you that you are healed and forgiven, lifted and enlightened, healed and forgiven, lifted and enlightened, filled and surrounded by the Christ light, by the Christ love. May the beautiful many escort you to your perfect place. Go in peace, and so it is.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did anybody want to add to that?
No.
I'll take that as no.
Oh, it was perfect and beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Miriam. So what we were thinking about doing tonight is kind of just letting spirit guide us. So busy on this side that, that we haven't had a whole lot of time to really sit down and really work out a format for today. So it kind of makes sense for us to let it kind of flow. And I know Lori had a couple things to share, so why don't we go ahead and start with you?
I did?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting story yesterday that then led into today. So you saw Walter, and Walter was really, 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 really sick. So sick yesterday that he actually drove himself to the hospital. And the guys at the hospital said, "There's nothing wrong with you. Go home." Long story short, Walter woke up this morning not only feeling better, but more than better. Well, then I woke up this morning feeling extremely ill, to the point that I worked all day, but then I kept having to go out to the medicine wheel and lay down out in the sun, just waiting for spirit or myself or one of my higher selves to fix it because I was not good. And I am completely 100% not only feeling better, but I actually feel better than better. And I know John kept saying to Walter yesterday and then to me today, it's just a recalibration. And it is so a recalibration because I have no back pain. There's no pain. All the pain is gone all of a sudden, which is uniquely weird. So, was there more to this story that I'm forgetting?
I don't believe so.
Okay. I missed the ship. I'm bummed, but I was too tired. Yeah.
But hey, you're feeling great, so that's good.
Woohoo! Woohoo!
The other thing that I think is a cool, very monumental event is Mr. Don Daniels began speaking light language by himself.
Woo!
And you want to tell us about that, Don?
Tomorrow.
You want
Tomorrow.
or tonight?
Oh.
We only have tonight, Don.
I'm sorry, somebody else was asking me a question.
That was a perfect answer, though.
Perfect.
Time is relative in the higher dimensions.
What time?
I was out walking in the neighborhood yesterday and came across two little groups of deer, and just came flowing out of me just a couple of sentence greeting to them in light language. And that's the first time I've spoken light language solo, not with the whole group or anything. So it just came out. So it's starting to work.
So you now speak. You now speak pretty much.
Look at him.
As soon as you accept that you can do it all the time, you will be. Julia, how is your light language going?
Going good. In the beginning, it was a couple different dialects and phrases. Now it's staying one dialect and maybe 2 or 3 phrases, and I can't seem to break from them. But I do notice I have friends that are very, very psychic, much more than I. And when we're on Skype and we meditate together and I speak the language, they see lyrans around me, the lion beings around me.
Oh, cool.
And my cats are like on top of me, which they're not always. They like to be right next to me. But I do notice that when I speak it and when I sing it after my meditations each morning, my house is very light. I can sense angels in my house. My friends do see angels. They see Archangel Michael every time they Skype me next to me. And they see, you could just feel the lightness in the room, and that it even looks like, when you close your eyes and sometimes in meditation and you open them and you see the little white dot, call them angel lights. I see them and I see like it's lighter in my house, and I could be really depressed in the morning and then all of a sudden, when I speak it, it raises me out of that thing. And I'm starting to like get the sound. Like I'm starting to, but I want to be more fluent, and I want to be able myself, especially, I was told that when I go to ECETI, I'm going June 15th with my girlfriend. I was told by Debbie Solaris that I will be activated, and I'm hoping that I will be fluent, all my psychic abilities to come in, and I'll know, instead of my friends telling me there's, beings around you, I can personally see them.
Awesome.
And like, I don't want to have to go to a psychic. I want my own intuition to kick in, and my sight and my clairvoyance, and I know it'll happen. But I want to use it for healing. I've been meditating with my girlfriends and speaking the language to heal them and to give love. And it's really working, and it's freaky. It's freaky. I feel like I'm Earth Mother that wants to heal everybody.
Wow, that's beautiful.
To raise everybody's vibration. And the one thing I'm asking for is, my voice over the years, it's getting lower. So I'm asking for an angelic voice so the vibration would be higher. So when I sing the light language, it really heals people. It raises their soul. And, it's not, I don't, I mean, it's okay now, but it's not like that beautiful angelic voice. But definitely, for the, what do you call it, being fluent and knowing what language it is without someone else telling me. I think that's, getting into my own power.
Excellent. Excellent. How cool is that, right?
Cool.
So Candace, you've been cranking right through the dialects lately. So
Nakoma, I'm catching up to you.
He is too. Tell us about how that's changing and how the dialects are changing and how you're using them.
Okay. So at the very beginning of April, I thought, I'm never going to get there. I have no idea what I'm doing. Nothing's coming out.
Totally
And here I am. I think I'm 32 dialects in as of today.
Wow.
I can't keep track, so I don't. I'm just keeping the number going. But I use it in my everyday life just for self-empowerment. If there's a negative situation going on, I just start talking, and whatever comes up, comes up. I have the intention of healing the situation, but it's always a different dialect, which is really interesting. I'm also an intuitive life coach, and in my practice, I have a crystal bed. And so when the clients are in the crystal bed, I ask permission to speak light language to them. And, they think I'm batshit crazy, but, whatever. It's actually pretty cool because it's deepening their experience on the table under the lights.
Sure.
So it's not only working for me and empowering me, but it's also helping my clients. And I have 2 people that I've activated so far. So we'll see. Yeah.
Very.
Just a side note on that term,
Yeah.
batshit crazy. Do you know where that came from?
You?
No.
Oh.
Back centuries ago when bat guano was a major fertilizer for the farm fields, the people who'd go out in the ships to the islands and collect the bat shit and stuff, the ammonia would affect them and it would actually make them crazy. So it's kind of like Mad as a Hatter. That was the mercury from the making of the felt that they absorbed so much of the mercury. So it does have a real origin.
Nice.
So if you ever want to know, there you go.
All right. Excellent.
Tracy, do you want to say something this morning? For you, it's dinner time for us. Tracy?
Oh, hi. Sorry, what was that, John?
Yeah, did you want to say something?
No.
Awesome.
I think I'll inject something, that resonates with me, but I'm just happy to be here and soak up the energy, to be honest. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Very cool.
No worries, thank you.
Christine, did you want to say something?
I guess it's just nice being part of the group because, like I said before, English is not our first language. So it makes it okay to talk light language. I probably speak 2 or 3 dialects. The second one I call dolphin. And then when I first started to speak it, quote unquote, all I could do was spit because it's like such a high tone. The body could not get it out. So all I did was spit for a while. And then another one I find that I'm doing more and more is getting faster and faster and faster. And you wonder how fast can it get? But it's just interesting between the 3 of them that they're all different. So it's entertaining, and I do it based on what's ever going on in the day's activities. That's all.
Well, thank you. Now, whoever called in on 9191, did you want to say something? All I hear is crickets. So, the Reverend Miriam, what would you like to add today?
Well, I'd like to preface what I'm going to say by I'm not trying to be, different, but I guess I've just born that way. But right now, I am not speaking the light language the way all of you are. And in my meditation and questioning, so why am I not getting this inspiration to come through me, through the heart, and to speak it? And the information that came back to me from the master teachers and guides and angels that I work with is that, in essence, when I speak with people or clients or groups or just strangers or whatever, church groups, I am speaking English, but what's really interesting is that my intention and the love energy that comes through, because I'm actually channeling when I'm speaking, is that it reaches each person in a different way. They hear different things, each one individually, than the other person does. And I have proof and evidence of this because they'll come up to me afterwards and say, oh, that was, just what I needed to hear. It was perfect for me. It was like you were talking directly to me. And so right now, I guess I'm okay because I'm not speaking all your dialects in light language like you're doing, but apparently there's some form of diversified light codes coming through my natural voice tones, especially when I'm working with clients, because they just tell me it puts them into an altered state, just my voice tones. But it's that it seems to be a very powerful love energy coming through, and whoever's hearing it, even if there's 10 people, they all hear something or feel something a little different when I say something. So I'm just a bit of an oddball in this group, and maybe soon I'll start to speak it in the light code languages the way you guys are, from the heart. So right now, I'm just sort of going with what I'm being guided to, whether I'm singing or speaking. I still hear myself speaking English, but apparently the words that I'm using are multidimensional, the way they're received by other people's ears. Does that make any sense to anybody?
Yeah, nice.
It does. Your expression is, I think what you're explaining, and I find it pretty easy to understand, is as you're speaking, because it is tones, layered within the tonality and the actual notes of the speech are the light codes that you're referring to. Because I understand the way we express light language, and we all know there's infinite ways of expressing light language, may it be written, art, sang, or the multitude of other ways. So I think it really boils down to intent from a higher state myself. And so if you're speaking from your heart, it doesn't matter if you're speaking English, if you're speaking Czechoslovakian or ancient Pleiadian. The fact of the matter is, if your intent is pure and it's coming from your heart, yes, it contains codes and it's light language.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. I wondered, what was happening, why I wasn't I'm not even getting a nudge to speak light language.
Well, you're like, I'm the dud of the group. Is like, that's far from the truth.
So, but it is, I do know that either my singing or my spoken word or my counseling words or coaching words, it often mesmerizes people, and it often just takes them into a very peaceful, safe space. And in that space, just listening to my voice, they have a healing experience oftentimes. Oh, cool. So I don't know, what exactly is happening, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's great.
And when it's appropriate, I sort of downloaded this really cool song, and it's called "I Am One with My Creator." So whenever, maybe when we can sort of schedule it or something, I'd like to teach it to everyone, because the vibrations that come from that song, it's very, very ancient and sacred and special. And it's whew, I tell you, and when everyone starts to sing it, it's just like it resonates. So everything in the room starts to vibrate. So
I love it.
we can make that arrangement sometimes. It only has 7 little verses, and it's, I am one with my Creator. I am one with Father God. I am one with Mother Earth. I am one with, oops, let me see, one with Father. Okay, so, okay, I am one with, I just gotta think a second. I'm one with, it's Creator.
One with everything.
Yeah, I'm one with my Creator, Father Sky, Mother Earth, and then my ancestors, the great masters, all my family, and then I'm one with my Creator. So that's how the sequence goes. Creator, Father God, Mother Earth, my ancestors, the great masters, all my family, and Creator again. So it's a very easy sequence of things to remember, but boy, the energy is just woo-wah. You know, when it's sung very like intently and sincerely from the heart. It sort of has a sort of a Native American powwow beat to it. Yeah.
Cool.
Miriam, would you consider posting that on our group page?
Oh, me actually singing it?
Yeah.
I do. Wow. Okay. That's
Yeah.
for me. All right. I better write the words down so I don't mess them up. Because once I start singing it, I like trance out. You know, I don't even know where I am when I start singing it. That's
really cool. I think if you,
all right. Yeah.
if you get
Yeah,
that
I'll
going,
do that.
we get familiar with it, then, you know, we'll be more likely for us all to get people to join in as well.
Yeah, I think it's should become a universal song because there's light codes in there big time. Yeah.
Well, look forward to it.
All right. Thank you for the encouragement. I will try my best to figure out how to do that.
That's good. Brother Nakoma. What do you have to share with us?
No, nothing. I'm just, it's good. It's nice to do this.
But you know something, every time we ask you that, you come up with something profound, so I'm not going to let you off the hook quite that. Tell us about what you've been doing with all the dialects and like the written light language you've been doing a lot of lately. Can you talk about that and what kind of visions you're getting when you're writing as well as speaking?
I think I'm up to 5 dialects now, and writing is like, I don't know, it just comes out. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I think I don't know. I don't know.
You know the drawings you just posted, the ones where you're the gatekeeper. It shows the one in the middle, and it's explaining who you are, and you're the one in the middle. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah, that was it was strange because I started. I don't even know where it just my hand. It started drawing things, and then I just keep drawing. A few days before, I keep hearing my guide say there is only a handful of gatekeepers in the world, in the universe, and then I sort of just laughed a little bit because I think my ego was having a laugh at me, but I know to push it aside. I don't really know what to say. I'm a bit shy.
We'll break you with that, yeah. Did you guys want to share, each do some light language at first, and we can go into a collective intent. I wanted to leave it up to you guys as to what we actually really focused on tonight. And if I'm open to whatever you guys want to do. Anybody have anything in particular or very precise that you wanted to focus on? And that includes you guys or you guys?
question. Actually, Nakoma, I talked to you about this, but I also posted this on the group, and I was just wondering if anybody else felt like they had little lightning bolts coming out of their fingers and their hands. I actually feel that more and more every day, and I actually feel the lightning bolts in my thumbs. I just wonder if anybody else had that.
Nakoma, you had an experience with energies in the palms of your hands too. Is that what Candace is experiencing?
It may have been a month ago. I was up at early in the morning, getting ready to go to the gym, and sound always started coming out of my hand. And the thing was, it was dead quiet inside. There was no TV going. It was quiet, and then I sort of just, like, looked at my hand, thinking, "What the hell?" It's like you mask on your ears, and then you take them off, and there's a clear saw.
Nakoma, can you speak up a little bit?
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Can you speak up a little bit? You're a little muffled.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe a month ago, I was like 3 a.m. in the morning, and I was getting ready to go to the gym, and it was, I was doing some writing, and then I sort of just sat there, and then sound started coming out of my hands, high pitched noises, and then I sort of looked at it with this, I didn't know what to think, and then 15 minutes later, it happened again. It was a really high pitched sound started coming out of my fingers, and it happens when I don't even know how it happens. It just happens. So I have no control over it at all. It just.
How does that make you feel when it happens? Are you focused on anything in particular when that occurs?
I'm relaxed and calm.
Yeah.
And it just is more so it's kind of like a channel, do you think?
Jeez, I wish I knew. I really don't.
Candace, do you think it's a channel when you're feeling it?
I'm really relaxed and calm as well. I mean, the first time I noticed it, I was in Costco, and I love Costco. So I was very relaxed, very calm in Costco. And the other times, yeah, probably, I don't know about channeling, but just very peaceful, peaceful time, peaceful environment. And I guess I was more aware. I guess I had less distraction around me, so I was able to feel it and be aware of the awareness, I guess.
Cool. Very cool. Everybody, this is Vicky.
Vicky.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi.
Now, we went out and we did a little group out in the Pleiadian circle, and we had a couple guests that were with us, and we went around and we did a little exercise, and one of the guests actually started going into song in light language, which I thought was really, really cool. And when we were going into that, what was the energy that you felt when we were in the Pleiadian circle?
Oh, it was like I was really high and very lightheaded. I mean, it was just like so much energy. It was just like levitating me. I mean, that's how I felt. Like I was just not really there, and then it was so giddy and so happy and so joyful and just everything that I really. It was great.
Fun.
It was great. It
we
really
were
was.
laughing, and it was like that Pleiadian energy. What's really cool?
Tingling.
Yeah, when the Pleiadian ships come over, the birds chirp. It's really, really cool. And what's really interesting is because the energy. I mean, we're here at a Stargate, and this vortex is all over, so the energy is so accessible here. So what I found is when we're going into these meditations, I feel that energy almost instantly, so much faster than anywhere else I've ever been, and it's really cool. And when we were in the Pleiadian circle, it's almost like you can almost see that energy spiraling around you, and you get all goofy and silly, and Walter started laughing, and when we were just, and then it was like these two feline beings came, but they didn't tell me their name. And then later on, Walter was in a meditation, and he knows their names, and he conversed with them. So it was a really cool connection for him just from that little circle we did. But I think it might be kind of cool is if we all spoke a little language. I was going to do just a slow drum, like so. And I was thinking that we could each take turns speaking our dialects, and we could call in whoever would like to visit us from the light side, and maybe somebody would want to channel. Are you guys agreeing with that?
Yes.
Sure.
Who would like to start? Nakoma.
Nakoma, you start and I'll answer you.
You got the drum in front of Lori. Oops. Thank you.
Pardon?
Pardon. Nakoma, you start and I'll answer you or speak back to you.
Nits kanaras kuskeras katakiri. Skito corona rai alai skatatarai mana ai. Katakataka aras kuskanumber uskatakiskis kini kataras katakoro.
Manastay wistikala wetel manastola Rafael. Michael Zadkiel. Moetite lestana wetita. Moestina nana. Moestina nana.
Julia
and
Undala shira la sonda la kaya la mana. Udala shira la sonda la kaya hola sonda la kia. Hola sayla la mana shila kahola. Undala shira sonda la hola sonda la kia.
Candace.
Asula shusha mitaktakla, I susisa la shusha matisa kalachu to the message. Matisa kalachu shikala should be the dialer to the Messiah. I know such a musicala to be the kalachu. And I see so complicated to boost up this cat up to me. How did you go by?
Awesome. Christine and Don.
I don't know if I'm quite ready for people yet. I'm still working on animals.
That's where I started. Only
Christine,
I think I will just be a little bit quiet, a little bit longer. But thank you so much.
okay. Tracy, would you like to say something? Speak. Do whatever you'd like.
Arakiata tukua shiara kuto tukuana naki shiata tukuana nakiata koa tatakuana naki.
Leto tukai na meke. Shesha poka se bitukwe. Kwalo tutukama maka shesha pipi kya la mamakweta to. Yesha na mamweta kya huela to. Yesaki grieto ko yamamakata. Leto shemi leto tukwa shamakwahe. Tukwashi siya nama lona namaka atutu kwala watat kiesha shamete lahya lakoto tukwesia masha shikato tukia mamwe Joaqua, lahiana mo eti, de dugrish ketiatet niama ka alokwa, ka hiata kuregia, rakete, ra ikebido, ngakata memekwa, la pedishi shebeke, shaketa tawana makwa, wa bibiketa dikita takashe, sa shakota da vimekota huyana mama, lela rishukwa, zelshana mekwatako, kwatoko, hiahiala mikiti, sheneme. Miriam? Would you like to share something?
Just gratitude and blessings to all. Thank you.
I'd like to try something a little bit different, if you guys are okay with it. Oh, there you go. Oh, cool. I love that gong he has, by the way. I was going to start doing a little ancient song, and if you guys would like to add your harmonic to it, I think that might be really, really cool. So what I will do is I'll put the bass in, and everybody speak when they feel time to speak. Is that cool?
Sure, maybe the singing will trigger me.
You're actually going to sing a song?
Okay, you ready? So I'm going to sing the bass line, and everybody can sing whatever they feel, if it's spoken word, if it's song, or whatever. Whatever you feel comes out of you, and we'll just let it flow. Lino anete ia ele anaene lino anoa ia lino anoa la lino anona ia Lino enona la 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 Lino enona Lino enona la Lino enona
Unda sila magapola, unda la shira, la sira, holanda la wia, unda la shira la hola, unda la sia, kanda mashanda la kia la mana la sanda la kia la mana la kaya, unda la shira la sonda la kaya la mana la kia, unda la shira la kona la sanda la kia la mana la koya, unda la kaya la mana la shira.
We welcome our ancestors. We welcome our lineages. We welcome our higher selves. We touch upon the parts of ourselves that hold the wonder of a child, the wondrous joy of discovery. We look within ourselves where we look outward, seeing all that is. We join our energies. We increase our vibration. We look and see the truth of ourselves. As each of us expresses our own light and intent, the energy returns to us in a multitude of ways with exponential growth. The focus of us is often to increase our own vibration. But in doing so, we increase others as well. We join our energies. We listen to our ancestors. We listen to our hearts. We see, feel, and we know our own truths. We need but choose our own paths. We need but to believe in our own abilities. We need but to remember who we truly are. As I feel each and every one of you, I'm incredibly humbled by the love and the light that you share. This is why I do this. This energy, this intent, and we can indeed change this world. My profound gratitude, humble thanks to you all for sharing these moments and sharing your gifts. I know it's a matter of time before we awaken others with these beautiful divine gifts that we are all remembering. Again, it is our choice to remember. Do we go within and find our truth? Do we look outward and see others searching for their truths? Our simple choice is to choose our light and share our light. As we come together in these simple groups, we're changing more than is readily known. We are touching many dimensions. We are supported, loved, encouraged, and healed by our ancestors, by the higher aspects of ourselves, and by the truth of the Prime Creator. We give our great gratitude for allowing us to have these incredible experiences, be able to share incredible experiences with each other, and thus, once again, raising the collective vibration. Our intent, our light, and our love are the simplest and most powerful things in all existence. For light outshines the darkness. Intent focuses our awareness and our abilities. And our belief brings our focus and knowing of who we truly are, what we are here for, and the true knowing of ourselves. The beings that surround us are from so many different star nations, dimensions, realms. They're represented so strongly in this place. And they ask me to share these words, to share this energy, to increase the collective. As we speak, by virtue of this group, by virtue of this conversation, we are exponentially sharing this incredible light and changing the reality that we lay out before us. The Pleiadians are very prevalent. However, the Sirians, Arcturians, Lyrans, it's endless as to the beauty, the knowledge, and the ancient races that are here supporting us, loving us, sharing their knowledge, and helping us to remember our true missions, our true purposes, and our true identities. We even have an ascended dog in the room. Again, in my spiritual eyes, I see a circle around us all as we all sit in a circle, joining our energies. I see the white light beings surrounding us. I see the humor. I feel fingertips on my shoulders of encouragement, love, and support, and healing. reminding us to join together, reminding us to work collectively, reminding us to be mindful of our thoughts as we are generating and emitting energy constantly, which is growing with each second. To be mindful of our thoughts, to be mindful of our focus, hold the light for those who cannot do it at this time. Those who are screaming for help, those who are in pain, need but a simple smile or a simple wink to change the frequency that they're carrying. We ask that we share simple acts of kindness, and we share them with complete strangers, changing their vibration with a simple act. Love is the simplest act that we can perform by simply embodying the love, the light that comes originally from our prime creator. It comes down through the dimensions. It comes down through our guides. It comes down through our higher aspects of ourselves. As we feel, as we acknowledge, as we accept, as we truly believe and remember our divinity, our abilities, our truth, our memories are like a precious gold. Our smiles are the shiniest platinum. And a simple hug and a wink is the love that can change this planet. There are so many beautiful souls awakening, remembering their tools, remembering their strengths, remembering their purchases. The purchase of giving, sharing, believing, knowing who we truly are. They ask that we spend more time with our higher thought. Take a moment each day, spend a little bit more time on ourselves, forgiving ourselves, accepting ourselves, and understanding that the experiences that we go through, whether they may seem very difficult in this time, they are divine in their own right, for they advance and evolve our soul's remembrance. This is a very special time for all of us to come together with our collective intent. It's a very special time to acknowledge who you are. Look in the mirror and see the perfection. We are divine beings. We are loved in every way. We are perfect children of God. Therefore, we are flawless. Nothing we do can be wrong when we follow our true intent and follow our hearts. We have been gifted the remembrance of our abilities through sound, through vibration. May it be art, may it be song, may it be speech, may it just be intent, vibration of a higher nature, vibration of our true selves. I give great thanks to this wisdom shared with us from the collective, from the Pleiadians, from the Arcturians, from the Lyrans, from the Syrians, and all the other star nations, the elementals, the Sasquatch races, the fairy realms, all the races that are represented here, and all the other ones I have not mentioned. However, our intent and our acceptance is just as intense had I mentioned their names. Again, we give great thanks and gratitude for giving us this time to share together, to share our energies, and encourage, empower, and strengthen each other on an individual basis and as a whole. Natokia paketisha shase, la totokama kiata hieta, elototuyama gua, and ya zeme otutuebe. La shase cueva pienonuka hiete, shase shana, shasapuque hela, la totokama my pepe, chichaka, la tatakama makatatua, yakete, Yatete meme kwa sheshe. Sheshe se samamokwe. La kwa se sami. Mi atutuki sheshe mamoke esepepeke. La toya ma. Sheshe. Satoke ma teke. La kwa azapapa. Yateke ma. Yanana kwe sheshe. Shama meme kwetoto. Shama me esepepetaka. La totuko mama keti. La totuko mama. Shese meme. Sheshe seme. Sheshe seme mama. Thank you.
Aho.
Thank you, John. That was
Wow.
beautiful.
Something really weird was happening there. I was like about a quarter of a word ahead of him pretty much all the way through that. So I don't know what I was tapping into, but
Telepathy. Your telepathy's picking up.
it must be.
Excellent. Excellent. And again, that was the tapping in of the collective energy. That was the allowing ourselves to remember our gifts, allowing ourselves to truly get down to the core of who we really are. We all have divine gifts, and that can't be denied. We may not always accept it. We may not always believe it, but it's always there. And all we need to do is just let it happen. Just be ourselves and flow. And if I've learned anything coming here, it's the energy is completely divine in all ways. It's how we use it, how we accept it. I just love it.
Just bring your surfboard.
Bring your surfboard, she said. Ride on some waves. Did anybody want to share anything else?
I just wanted to say two things. One is when you were playing and singing, I was vibrating so much. I was thinking, wow, I don't know how long it would be before I could even drive a car.
Wow.
You know, because that was pretty intense. And number two, when you were talking about not knowing how we're affecting the world and raising the vibration, like Candace talking about batshit crazy, one thing I do is if there's any situation in the store, at work, any place, I just start talking to them in light language. And I tell you, they shut up. That's the situation.
That's awesome.
I was going to say, if you can keep vibrating that high, you won't need a car. You can just levitate.
I could what's that? Whatever, you can go someplace else, you know. You can move all your particles.
Translocate.
Yeah.
Translocate.
Yeah, and I do have a general thing of invisibility. A lot of people don't see me sometimes. So with a higher vibration, I bet I'm even more invisible.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wanted to share something that came up in conversation today.
Hold on just one second, please. Lori has to go. She's got a long drive ahead. She just wanted to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
Bye, Lori.
It's really nice
Bye.
to see you again. Love you guys. Sorry I'm leaving, but I got to drive home, and then I got to hang out with 7-year-olds all day tomorrow. So I'm going to go.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, Lori.
I'll see you Wednesday.
Okay, see you later.
I'll see all of you Wednesday.
Okay, Miriam.
Yeah, something came up today. You know, those of us that are awakened and aware and know our job jar as light workers, and we are, downloading divine inspiration and vibrating at higher frequencies and walking in several dimensions and multi moving around the universe and all these things. But what is happening with, I would say, other people around us is something I heard the word today called dismantling. The energies that we are putting out and the energies that are coming forth from Central Sun and the divine feminine energies and the increased activity of the galactics and our angels and family, people are feeling the energies and they are beginning to be dismantled from all of their teachings and belief systems and what they thought was the way reality was and what they thought was truth. And this breaking down, this dismantling is really disorienting people. So when you're around so many people and they're just like losing it or acting strange or funny, just think of the word, they're dismantling, and it helps get through the moment.
That's perfect. That's a perfect word.
Yeah.
I can agree with that totally. That's awesome.
Yeah. It was a good word. I'm hanging on to that word. Yeah. So I just wanted to share that because you can then just say dismantling and then smile at them because you know what's going on with them then.
Jim, did you want to add anything? You haven't spoken up much yet today.
I'm still very new to all this, but I was definitely feeling energy. My crown was lighting up most of the time.
Nice. Jeff, did you want to add anything?
Oh, just last night, Walter and I were out in the field.
Can you speak up, please?
A little louder.
Sorry. Walter and I were out in the field last night, and this is about the same time that we saw that ship land. And we were just kind of standing there, and all of a sudden we both got hit with this energy that just basically paralyzed us. And I was just like this, and I mean, there's this thing in my back that activates, but my whole body was just like paralyzed, and so was Walter's, and it was just really cool. It was really, it was and so now today, Walter's healthy, he's feeling good, and
after an emergency room visit last night.
Yeah, so it was really cool. It was really positive.
Wow, yeah, that's one quick alignment.
One way to do it, right?
It reminds me of the time my mom slipped and fell on her bunda, her butt, on the ice, and all the vertebrae in her spine aligned like a chiropractic adjustment. Boom, 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 boom. So maybe that's what the energies are doing with all of our chakras and our super chakra centers.
Alignment in short order.
Yes.
You get the rapid changeover.
Yeah. Fast, quick adjustments. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Has anybody else felt any big energy shifts or had any experiences? I see Julia's nodding.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I pick up ascension symptoms like all the time. So if there's an energy ray coming from the sun, and I don't hear about it till like later, like in the morning, I'll feel like aches and pains, or I feel like I just don't want to move anymore, and I'm going to get the flu, or I'll get a fever really fast, and then it goes away really fast. And then I find out like 4 or 5 o'clock on Facebook that, oh, did the energy ray came down. So I feel the energy is really strong, but I always try to think positive, and I amp my meditation up so I can get through the symptoms pretty fast. And it was funny, I just want to say with Reverend Miriam, right before she was speaking, talk about synchronicity, I was thinking the minute before you started speaking about my dismantling of my beliefs in God and how that all changed in creation over the past several years, and how hard it was to get rid of that old paradigm and accept that I am part of Creator, and that was really hard for me. And that's going to be, and I was thinking that when you had mentioned that, so we're all pretty synchronous.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, it's good when you can tag a word that helps you understand what you've been through already, then you can then guide and help others that are just now beginning to go through it. And these energies, what you might have felt the other day was the gamma rays. We had 3 days worth of slamming from the gamma rays.
What day was
and
that?
So it doesn't matter, solar storms, sunbursts.
It hits you right here, like the third eye gets activated. And
Yeah.
also Archangel Michael, he tends to do this to me. I feel like there's fingers in my hair and in the back of my chakra here. Like especially when I sing light language, I get this and I get that back there. But it's like, I know I'm like, all of us are so protected. All these changes are happening. We're all, like my girlfriends that are psychic, they're always telling me, Michael is all around you. He protects you so much. And I do that prayer since I heard you describe that protection prayer. I've been doing that every morning. So
Very good.
I've had such great days. Like nothing ever touches me. Well, not good, you know. But.
And one of the things I just recently learned besides the protection, and I got sort of nudged over the head by Archangel Raphael, is that when you are feeling, slammed by the energies, when you're having a major download or adjustment, is right then and there, like, geez, guys, I got to go to work right now or something. How am I going to work like this? So Archangel Raphael said at that point, he said, would you please just loud and clear call upon me and the healing angels to help quicken the adjustment and get you back on your feet and feeling good. He says, if you will just open the door and say, Raphael and angels, get in here now, help me, they will rush to balance you and rush to really get you back in sync and so that you can function. But if you just lay there and go, oh, I'm feeling so bad, oh my God, my head, my stomach, you'll just lay there for hours. And so Raphael reminded me, as soon as you start to feel bad, don't go for the Tylenol, call me.
Ask for help.
Like
exactly. Ask
help. That actually did happen to me. It was a couple months ago. I got, or actually it was, I think, late August, there was a big download. I didn't know it, of course, till later. It was like one of the major things. And I had one of those sudden fevers, and my stomach was in agony. I never have a bad stomach. My stomach was in absolute agony. And I cried out to Michael. My guides are Michael and Gabriel. So I cried out to them, and instantly my stomach was healed. However, I still had the fever. So I slept for 2 hours, fever gone. And then I found out, of course, there was a major download, and everybody was getting nauseous, and everybody was getting stomach pains.
Well, one of the things that's interesting, Archangel Michael actually spoke directly to me through mediums on Friday night and this morning. And one of the things he said, healing's not, usually my forte or job jar. He says, call upon me, but I'm going to then turn around and call in Raphael.
I call in.
So,
you can cut out the middleman if you want to, and just go.
Exactly. Yeah. Michael says, I know you're calling on me, but healing is not my forte. He said, but it was really cute the way he said it. Yeah.
So this is a variation on the old saying, call me, and if you need, take 2 aspirin in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah, but I really thought that was great. Really thought that was great. So it's, as you say, there are like the healing archangels, Raphael and Yeshua and Mother Mary and Kuan Yin and Buddha and Mary Magdalene. They're really, really good at making a council of healing. And so any of those, masters or any of the angels, Uriel, Ariel that deal with, and even, John, here's one for you. Sandalphon is about singing.
Really?
Archangel Sandalphon is helping the light language speakers and their singing.
How cool is that? Okay. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Angel. I don't remember that angel, I should say.
Well, check him out.
Yet I will.
Sandalphon. Yes.
There was something I was going to say.
Go ahead, Nicoma.
Oh, it was because I keep hearing people talk about the sun, so I guess I should just share my little bit. Yesterday I was laying on the couch and I sort of drifted off to sleep for a few, maybe 30 or 40 seconds, and these two sunbeam beings came to me. Oh, and the size of a domino. They burnt this hole in my forearm, but it was the shape of a domino, and they said it was the energy source of the sun. And then I woke up and I sort of looked at my arms thinking, is my arm okay? But there's nothing there, but it's sort of engraved in my head. They keep saying it was the energy source of the sun. But I've had the sunbeams come to me a couple of times, but not so profound as yesterday. Thought I'd share my little bit for the day. So, that was me.
Very cool.
We were.
Well, there's a new book. There's a new book on the market called "You're Not Going Crazy. You're Just Awakening." So we can say that to a lot of people.
Jeff and I were outside, and the sun was going down, and he pointed out. He goes, "I just saw this pillar of light," and I went around the corner, and there's the sun, and it's this pillar of light. I mean,
nice.
It was beautiful, and and of course, it's off to the left of Mount Adams, which is, the energy of the mountain is really amazing. But that pillar, I had seen maybe a year and a half prior to that on the summer solstice. I saw these golden pillars coming down to the earth, and it was very similar to what we saw last night. So again, there you go. It's the angelic energies that are coming down to and it's the new grid, the new crystalline grid that we're seeing.
Yeah, those pillars of light have actually been seen around the world at different times.
Wow.
Very important.
Wow.
Nice. Nice to know we have friends in high places.
That's right. You have to remember the sky is not falling. We are ascending.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's like lightning doesn't come down, it goes up.
Right.
There were all little lightning bolts going up.
That's right.
Yeah. And speaking of seeing new things, how many of you are seeing more than one spectrum in the rainbows nowadays?
Oh, yeah.
See a little extra color on either side?
Yeah. You guys seeing that too?
Is it like a double rainbow?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No, not quite.
Spectrums too, as well. Some people, and I
You're
think
seeing part of the second octave on either side.
it's pretty.
And then the sky has been incredibly blue the last few weeks. A lot of days it's just deep blue, like I haven't seen in years.
The chemtrails have been a lot less, I would imagine, then, right?
What's that?
The chemtrails have been a lot less over the past.
I think so, because the sky has just been so deep blue up here in the mountains.
Nice.
Speaking of chemtrails, down here in Florida, last year, the year before, we were calling in ships to disperse the chemtrails, and we actually watched that happen many times.
Nice.
Has anyone else had that experience?
That's happened here.
I have not, but James has told us many stories about it happening here. That's really interesting. I mean, some of the stories that James has told us, we all eat dinner together, which is kind of cool. It's very much a community atmosphere. And everybody would just talk, and now and again, we'd start asking James, well, have you ever seen this? And he would tell a story about how, a ship would come in and dissipate the chemtrail. And he has a very profound connection with several of these races, and very much like myself, he talks to his guides every day, all day long. But some of the information, it's interesting because the information that I normally get is more focused on my mission, where like the information James gets is kind of like focused on sharing for others to trigger on their missions. It's really unique that we all have. Again, we all hold a piece of that puzzle. And what I've learned from like listening to a couple of James stories and then having experiences here of my own and just going back and reflecting on other experiences I've had in my life, it's again, I keep going back to that puzzle piece and how we're all unique. And so some of us, like Nakoma and Candace, for instance, they have a ton of these dialects. I don't have that many dialects. I think I have 12 or something where in there. it's their
But
yeah, right. Their jobs, it require them to speak all these different dialects to communicate with multitude of races. I believe Nakoma's a gatekeeper. I believe Candace has something very similar, that she would require all those dialects. Some of us only need one. Some of us have two. I think that more people are speaking multiple dialects because of the expansion of our consciousness and a much wider perception of our purpose, I think. But like the multiple dialects or the different types of expression of these light languages, like art or Miriam, when somebody said, your voice, the particular tones, I've actually had people say something similar to me, is like just the tone of your voice has an effect. And I think it really, again, it's our intent, but it's just a different variation or a different focus on what we need to complete our missions. I just love the diversity, because there's nobody in this group tonight that speaks the same dialect as anybody else. Did you ever notice also that nobody speaks light language with an accent? You ever notice that?
The dialects do have their own accent in a way.
Right?
Yeah. They do, because sometimes, John, when you speak, it sounds, like a few French words are in there,
Yeah.
and then sometimes when Nakoma speaks, it sounds like a few Russian words are in there. So, there are some, each dialect does have its own, accent. I was speaking with a healer today, and she has learned over the years. They were using like radio frequency type of equipment, imbuing frequencies to make homeopathics to help people heal.
How cool.
And then she was given the gift that all she had to do was tone with intention to set the same frequencies to create the homeopathics. And then she advanced to, now she just tones through with intention and tone. She doesn't have to do the homeopathics because the intention and the tone does the healing. So yes, you're right on track, John.
The other night we did, Ashley did her healing negative frequencies and clearing negative entities meditation. And there was, I want to say, how many guests were in the room? Yeah, were you here? I think you were.
I think I was.
Oh, it must have been the night before you got here. How many did we have in the room?
12 of us.
We had like 12 people in the room. And what was really cool is Ashley speaks as well. And Ashley also tones. And so what was cool about it was she led the meditation, and then she went into her speech and she asked me to reply. So we did like a call and answer type thing. But then what was really cool was when she was toning and she went over to one of the singing bowls, and I started toning too. And it was like a lower octave. So there you go, Don, on the octaves, creating that leveled effect. But and what I did I think it might have been the first time that I think I've ever done this is in a meditation, is I was actually translating in English that what Ashley was saying in light language. So there was a bit of the intent to try and bring it into the 3D mind as well. And it was so she would say something and it would come off with a 2 or 3, 4 word reply. And that happened several times. And I'd never had that happen before. I thought that was really cool. And it was a completely different, dynamic between let's see, who else was in the room? I think it was just Ashley and myself that used the light language. But again, we have so many different uses and so many different types of, the ways of expressing these different languages. And I use the term languages loosely because, obviously we know that what is it? It's light codes in essence and energy exchange in its simplest form. However, I think that, we do grasp onto these 3D terms to allow our mundane 3D thought to kind of have something to wrap our brains around. But the expression of these codes is something that I think, and like you said, it's your voice, and it's your intent. So the intent behind, I think more important than anything else is the intent. So if you're toning with intent, I mean, that is a very pure form of light language. And I actually believe, in retrospect, after listening to that video, Christine Day, her speaking Pleiadian, but she was toning also, I honestly think it was the toning that activated me, not the light language. Now, I did respond back to her, and it was a call and answer, but I honestly believe it was the toning. So that's a part of it that I find that it's starting to creep out in my use of the expressions. And I think that everybody should really, really at least experiment with that. Like, Don, if you feel that you're not necessarily activating your speech as readily as you want to, maybe start off with some lower toning. You know, bring yourself to where you think that, you know, bring yourself to the focus that you need, and then start your tone on whatever level you think you need to. And I truly believe that that is a beautiful doorway into your remembrance of your light gifts and how to express.
Okay. And guys, what are your thoughts around signing and how that?
Signing is something very cool. My thoughts on signing are this: is because it's visual. It's vibrations, as it's visual vibration, and it's expressed in a way that I think that the visual vibration goes into the subconscious and activates dormant parts of our psyche, where things may be hiding or things may be clouded a little bit. And I think that that's a really important thing. Like if you look at Cassie on our group, Cassie signs more than any of us do. And it's just because of the way she expresses. But, you know, she'll sing, she'll speak, and she'll sign all at once. Or you'll see Nakoma speaking and writing. But those multi-layered expressions are powerful. And I think it's a much broader stroke. And I think it's a much broader way of expressing the light, and a deeper way of expressing more codes, or maybe a larger spectrum. That's kind of my feeling about that. Does that?
Okay, because I'm beginning to, so the past 2 or 3 days now, maybe, I'm starting to sign with new dialects. And they feel more, they all feel powerful, but these feel really powerful. Really powerful.
Do you guys, how many of you are familiar with Anara White Bear? I met her and Chris. They're our gatekeepers. They open Andromedan portals. But what's cool about them is he considers himself a chant master, and he has these really deep tones that he does. And then you see Anara, who will come in with the higher octave, but she's also signing. So it's, again, what are they doing? By creating the octave, they have the lower frequency and the higher frequency, which creates the octave. So there's the third, or the complete triad in the center. But she's also bringing it up a notch by using the signing. Now, I find myself, as I'm signing, there is this kind of it's like an S movement. And it seems to be very prevalent in a lot of signing that I see with other people. I think it's kind of like there are similar, well, maybe it's similar intent, or it's something that is a memory that we're all trying to get back to. And that's why many of us do the same type of signing. Like some of the symbolism where this is a symbol of expanded third eye from the elbows to the crown. It creates the triad there. This is manifestation. This is a state of receiving. This is holding space. And this is giving gratitude and grace. And sometimes, and what it is it'll also, if they have me receive, sometimes I'll do it'll tap 3 times on the heart chakra, once on the third eye, once on the crown, which is again 3. So you got 3 and then 3 again, which is 6. So you're going back into your sacred geometries. And I think like the signing, so if you see like that, it's 1, 2, 3. Again, there's those numbers. And if we look at the flower of life and you break it down to one little triangle, which is connected to the next, which is connected to the next, which is connected to the next. But again, 3, 6, 9, we start with those sacred numbers. And when I see the signing, I'm starting to, and this is coming back to me as I'm speaking about this, is I'm actually starting to see the sacred geometries either portrayed or acted out within the signing. So maybe that's just taking it to the next level. And the fact that many people are actually just spontaneously signing must mean that, or I believe it means that we're now drawing from a higher vibrational platform than we were when we were just speaking. Because I didn't always sing either. And singing, obviously, when you do the singing, that changes the whole dynamic of it and changes the energy. Sometimes it makes us all goofy and laughing. Sometimes it gives us the tears of gratitude. But we can accelerate those energies simply by changing, our intent by song, signing, or written artwork, dance, any of that. Because what is dance? Dance is the ultimate form of signing. So that's my thoughts on that.
Well,
John, I'm sorry. John, there's I think I've mentioned to you the angelic channeler, Rebecca Renee. She's been channeling light language for about a year. And she works with Dominion Angel and also Photonic Field Angel. And one of the things that she's developed, which may happen for others, because she's doing videos all the time and with thousands of people around the world, she now will do light language and signing and then go right into speaking English of what she just said and did, and then back into light language, and then back into speaking English and back into light language. She's been able to interpret it and then express it in a perfect flow, so that it started, for people who are not accustomed to or haven't dismantled enough to feel the energies of the light language. By adding the interpretation in English, she's really captured the hearts and minds of a lot more people. So if that ever starts to happen for you, if you're going to be doing it in front of people as a group or something, if the interpretation to English starts to happen, it just blends right in and flows from one to the other, and it's really quite effective for the listeners.
I think especially the people that are just new, that are new to the light language, those of us that are kind of jumped in the deep end with it, we understand that even an English translation, and I'm going to go to Nakoma's statement, and I use this a lot, is a simple phrase of light language can contain a full library's worth of information. But maybe within that English speech, it contains the triggers, because obviously light codes are laden in that speech. And I think it's got to be just another form of triggering for those that are not quite awakened or are just readily available to those frequencies. It sounds I think it's really cool.
It is. Don wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say, when Candace was doing her signing as well as speaking, it reminded me of hula dancers in Hawaii. When you were speaking, you were doing a lot of things with your hands.
Oh, earlier.
Hula dancers are very expressive with their hands when they're speaking. So it reminded me of that. Either that or we're speaking ancient Italian.
Okay, all of the above. It takes the language and it I don't know, it focuses the intent, and it's just super powerful. And for me to do that, it's so powerful inside.
When you started doing, I think you started doing that when we did those sun activations.
Did I? I don't know.
I think
I've just noticed it the last couple of days.
But you were definitely signing when we did we did 3 sun activations in 3 days, and you did some signing on about the second half of the second one, and then the third one you almost started to sign right away, and that was really interesting.
You know, I also think the signing is related to healing and the healing arts, where you can bring in the chi and the prana and fix someone's aura. And I think it has something to do with the higher vibrations and pulling and balancing the energies.
I like it. Sounds good.
Yeah, I like that too. I'll take it.
Did you guys want to do did you guys want to finish off tonight with a group light language?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I think basically we're all pretty much very, comfortable with ourselves, and we really. Sorry, I was just getting a little bit of a download there. That was kind of cool. We really all we need to do is really focus on believing that we have these gifts. When I saw that post about Don walking up the street and seeing a deer, and then he started speaking, his light language, because the funniest thing was in the beginning, Don was like, I don't even think light language really my thing. And then I looked across the meditation room and I see him speaking light language, and I was like, it's everybody's thing. It's a question of, do we really want to, how do we want to, acknowledge that? How do we want to accept it? So why don't we just do this? Why don't we really get into a nice quiet space within ourselves, and whatever intent we feel, let's just express. So whomever wants to say anything first, and we'll just all jump in. Kaya makwai tetian na met kituto lana no magkakyapwai si semi
Matita.
kaya ki los
Alusina patala shona begara
Sira sundara shira
Alohe samatakai.
Pachakachukupachata pidya.
Sira la kana la hora sandara shira hora kia manala kaya la koya.
Rara menera kedurui.
Pachakuchucha patki.
Sira sundara kia kaya. Undala shira sundara kaya lamana. Sundara shira sundara kaya lamana.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to finish off the evening?
Love and blessings to all.
I'm grateful for you all. Thank you so much.
And especially you, Tiny Tim.
I feel so high right now and so happy. And I thank you so much for being my new family.
Yeah.
Aw.
We're going to see you very soon, Julia.
Yay!
Okay. Good night, everybody. I love you.
Good night. Thank
As I
you.
said, I'll do it soon.
night.
I'll give posts sooner. I'll give everybody much more time. I know this was last minute, and thank you so much for putting up with me.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Okay.